What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Clashing Conferences Network. This is the All Members Sports Pod. I'm your host tonight, Kyle Montgomery, and we have a star-studded cast from Pennsylvania, all PA tonight,
Love
baby.
it. PA, baby.
Welcome, boys. Welcome. First
So,
and foremost, like and subscribe to the channel wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. Check us out on Patreon. Visit our website. We're everywhere. You know, not as everywhere as the one guy in the corner, Mr. Jim Montgomery, but we'll get into him in a minute. So, little housekeeping. If you're in the Lancaster area and you need a haircut, check out Sparrow Hair Studios. Make sure you see Lean. Any network members do get a discount, so make sure you check out Lean and she'll take care of you. Then we have Lotwin. Rep your team with a custom 3D printed hype chain. Jim knows all about this. I think, Randler, you have one of these as well, don't you?
yeah.
One of these big, oversized hype chains to represent your team or your kids' team, whatever you need to do. Use the code TCCPOD for 10% off and grab an oversized hype chain today. Then last but not least, we got Jim Montgomery in this day in Philly sports history.
Live in the flesh tonight.
I'm not going to steal your thunder. If you want to tell us a little bit about your podcast, go ahead. I usually call you the less handsome Montgomery brother, but take it away.
It's because I got to go see Lean. But this day in Philly sports history, Monday through Friday, take a trip down Philly sports memory lane, have some fun. Pretty excited about the news coming out of Eagles camp today, though. But we'll save that.
Yeah, it's definitely the this day in Philly sports history was definitely better than the last 10 days that we had. So hopefully we don't
Very
have
true.
to remember that 2-week stretch and we can move on.
I've already blocked it out.
I loved how everybody was saying that week was going to make your podcast someday as something that you talk about.
It probably will.
Has
to. At least in 10 years, though. I need a couple year buffer before I get to that point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it was definitely brutal. So, welcome everyone. Appreciate you guys hopping on. We got a lean show today. Our normal crew has decided that apparently storms came through. The Holy Quran took the week off, so we got some of the OGs and Jim Montgomery joining us, and we even got the bearded one in the corner this week. So, should be a fun time. So. Let's get started first. Let's get this out of the way because I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's talk about our fantasy league. Let's show our fantasy stats. The Holy Quran is leading us 7-0. He shocked the Blunts this week after jinxing him on Monday Night Football. Mike,
Big
how do you feel about
jinx.
that? How do you feel about
Came
that?
out and congratulating me about beating them and taking them down for the first time because I had it in the bag. And then you go into was it Sunday night or it was Sunday
Monday
night?
night.
The San Francisco game was Monday night? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, it was Sunday
night. Sunday night. You're right.
I was up by a bunch. I had Kenneth Walker going on Monday night, and I had Mac Jones going on Sunday night, and he had Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
So we proceed to Mac Jones get basically 0 points on the night as CMC runs all over the other team and scores like 40. And the next thing you know, Karan's still undefeated, and I'm still in second place. So it happens to the best of us.
Could be worse.
It could be
My only
worse.
consolation is that in my most important league to me, which Kyle and Jim and Greg are also members, we had a big battle royal this week where twice a year, instead of playing one other person, it's total points. The top 6 teams in the league that score the most points get a win that week in the Battle Royal. And I came out on top in the Battle Royal. I scored the most points on the week. Get my chance at a little extra bonus at the end of the year. A little cash in the pocket. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
a high score. That was definitely a high score this week. So nice win by you. Nice win. And Greg, do you want to touch on that? Because you lost by what, 0.8, I think it was?
1.4 I lost, I believe, to Jim.
It was to me.
So I ended up with the 7th highest score of the week, which means skadoosh. I mean, it could be worse. I could have Justin Fields as my quarterback. Oh, wait, he is my quarterback in the podcast league. I was looking at the numbers of the podcast league today. 0-7 I have the least amount of points scored and the most amount of points scored against. So yeah, it
Gotta play
doesn't
better
even out
defense.
very good.
So
Yeah.
you and the Jets owner are both looking to cut Justin Fields.
Yes, Justin Fields is off the roster right now. Yeah, not looking good in that league. Gotta
I
admit.
only lost to Juice by 3 points. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that. I had like 3 of my big scores were all on bye, and then that Nuka Puka guy is injured, which isn't helping me right now. I thought
It doesn't help you at all.
that Nuka Puka guy.
Nuka Puka.
I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. So I'm hoping this week I can redeem myself and get another win back on the board, so I can get back on my high horse and get in that chat.
Yeah, I mean, look, Juice is holding solid at that number 3 spot. LeBeard, you're in the 4th spot, and
Yep.
you know we got a new number 5 this week, and the Tush Pushers make their way into the top 5. So
And while everybody's talking about Karan being 7-0 and reverse jinxes and things like that, we're just quietly the hottest team in the league right now, other than Karan. 4 straight. We're looking good. We had a rough little start to the season, but little mini bye week, kind of like the Eagles. We got everything's back on track, and we're looking to move up the rankings next week.
There you go.
it could happen.
Nice.
It could happen. Yeah, I'm. It's a cluster after 5. 6 through 9 is like all tied for the same record. It's brutal. Christy whooped me this week. Her team is horrible too, so my team must be even worse. I don't know what's going on.
Hey,
I
I
don't
got
know
a
what's
tight
going
end. I got a tight end if anybody's looking. You know, maybe we can make a trade and I can turn this team around.
I got
All right.
more than a tight end hole on my team. I got Trey McBride, or Danny McBride, the way he's been playing. I don't know. It's brutal.
Trey.
Absolutely brutal, man. It's like every time I have one guy pop off, the running backs don't do anything, don't do nothing. So I did my one league this week. I put up 250 points. It's a
Nice.
super flex league, and like I had 17 touchdowns my team scored. So I was like, yeah. So that's what it's like to have a fantasy team that actually does something.
So is that Mr. John Hawk's league? That is.
That is. And I took down the high score this week. So
There you go.
it was good. It was good. A little shove in that face. I don't mind that at all. Shout out to Hawk.
You competing in that league?
I am competing in
That's
that league.
good.
Yeah. Yep.
So many questions off air.
Oh yeah. Yep. Whatever you want to ask, brother. Whatever you want to ask. So that wraps up our fantasy segment. You know, I'm not looking forward to the rest of the season in this podcast league, but I'm gonna play spoiler. That's my job. I want to beat Karan because I haven't played him yet. Blunt's already beat me, but you know, it looks like Stanley and I may be battling it out for the toilet bowl this year.
Well, Kyle, let me make it a little worse for you, please. I haven't officially announced it yet, but I guess I will because I'm feeling like this is a special moment. The prize for that league, whoever wins, I know I've never actually stated it yet. It is going to be a brand new lottery chain that he's working on, a new design, one we haven't seen yet. So that will be coming, and he's actually sponsoring the chain for us. So.
Wow.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dude,
I would have
I'll tell you
tried.
what,
Those things-
I would have tried harder if I would have known that.
Well,
Those things are legit though, too. Like, and I know we already did the read for it, but like I was expecting like the foam. Like I keep saying it on my pod. Like these things are like legit, like composite plastic. Like they're no joke.
They're heavy.
Yeah.
Like they're not light either.
yeah, it's
That's
good. It's a
awesome.
good product. We did good linking up with them.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Hopefully, Karan does not win it because he already has one. So we don't need him to have one.
Well,
But
for
I
a
don't
while
want Mike.
there,
I don't
I
want Mike to get one either. So
For a while there, I was like, man, am I going to win my own chain?
yeah, wouldn't that be something if you do win your own? You're gonna have to let your wife wear it since she's the brains behind the organization anyway.
There you go.
I would do.
I mean, the Tush Pushers are America's team.
I don't like anybody in the top 5 right now. No offense. I mean, I guess if I had to pull for somebody, it would be Juice, but he didn't even show up tonight, so I can't even pull for him right now. He's at Home Depot or Bed Bath & Beyond. Who knows where he's at right now?
Greg, what's Juice working on?
He's working on a barbershop, getting ready to open. The grand opening is coming up soon.
Are you going to be his first client?
You know what? I may need a little trim, shape up the beard, get rid of some gray for me.
I hear
That'd
he
be
does
nice.
that. I hear
I
he
think
does
he I
beards.
think he does the soap and the lather and the like
I would
all
be
that.
so down with that. Like I use a razor and I haven't shaved in a couple days, so I need a nice clean shave. That'd be great.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what to say to that. So good luck. Good luck.
Me
Good
either.
luck.
Good luck.
All
Oh
right, so
boy.
shifting gears, let's talk about something else that started off today. We got the NBA. So, I feel optimistic as a Sixers fan. I know there's a couple of us on this episode right now that are Sixers fans. I feel pretty optimistic. Joel Embiid looks like he could get us 25, 30 games, more than what I thought he was going to
Oh.
get us. He looks like he's in shape. He looks like he's playing well. I know it was the last preseason game, but I'm excited to see how you're going to stop that offense if they actually all play together with Edgecombe, with
Yeah.
Maxey, with McCain, and Embiid. I mean, it's going to be hard to guard them. I mean, yeah, they don't really have a forward, but who needs one when they're all like
Right.
flashing around like that, you know? So,
What is the status of
I was just going to ask Paul George.
of George? Yeah,
He
Day to
may
day.
play tomorrow.
yeah,
He-
yeah,
day to day
he-
for like the whole year, or like
pretty much.
Well, yeah.
Probably
Pretty much.
with
I
his
think he's
age.
day to
yeah.
day for the rest of his life, for the rest of his
okay,
career.
all
He's
right,
day-to-day.
okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, they all practice in full today. So
Nice.
I don't know what that means, but
I love that team if they can stay healthy enough. They have so much talent. I mean, I truly hope, because I love to watch him play. I hope Embiid can get like 50 games and just be healthy for the playoffs. Because if he can play 50 games, you guys are going to make the playoffs. And if he's healthy in the playoffs, like truly healthy, not wobbling around out there, you guys got as good a shot as anybody.
Well, and that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I agree with you 100%. You take a look over the last, 5, almost 10 years of like, he's always been injured in the playoffs. It's always been what if. I remember the conversations we had, like, what if he was healthy?
Mhm.
What if he didn't hit the shot in Toronto? Like, there's always what ifs. I want a year where, as a Sixers fan, we can be proud and be hype all year and not sit on, like, be scared. It's been a while.
But I think it comes down to Joe and his mentality. Like if he
Yeah.
plays the way he played in the preseason game, if he is willing to take a step back and be like, you know what, Maxey can do it. Let's see what McCain can do. Edgecombe, even Grimes, and he's willing to play like power forward and let Bona be the center, and he's willing to change that mindset. I think they can, and he can be healthy.
Is he willing
The issue
to do
is,
that?
I don't know if he's wired that way. Not that he wouldn't want to, but I think once he's in game mode, I think he only knows how to play one way. And I think that's going to be what he needs to kind of change and say, all right, I don't have to do that every time. But if I can do it if I want to, but not every single play down the court.
I think the scary thing for the rest of the NBA is if he is healthy, he has a chip on his shoulder right now because he wasn't ranked in the top 100. So he's coming out going,
He's telling
I'm not in the
everyone
top
about it.
100. Okay, let me show you how good I am. And if he can do that, I don't think he cares what position he plays on the court at this point. He just wants to prove everybody wrong. So if he can stay healthy, it's going to be dangerous. It's going to be pretty dangerous.
Let me ask this question. Because except for Mike, you guys are all Philly fans. Are you guys happy with the team banking on if they can be healthy, we have something awesome? Or would you rather just like get players in that can make it happen now and start giving you a future? Like
I think I'm split, to be honest with you. Like, at the end of last year, I was so frustrated. The whole situation with Embiid and getting injured and going to the Olympics and playing injured, you know what I mean? Like, the end of last year or the end of the year before, I guess it was, just the way he was, I was frustrated. And I was like, let's hit the reset button. And then when they brought in, when McCain started playing and was healthy and VJ got drafted and I saw him and I was like, whoa, we might not have to hit the reset button. This may be the reset button.
Mm-hmm.
And Maxey's always been a ball player, but he needs help. I mean, he can't do it by himself.
Now, I actually like the way they did this rather than going back through the process days again. Like, it's kind of like a transition. And I think Maxey has a chance, I think, this year to step up and actually be in the elite player conversation, and he's going to have every opportunity to do it. And I think as long as Joe's willing to cede it to him, like, hey, it's your team now, you let me know what I need to do. I like it. I mean, I don't think they're going out and winning a championship this year, but the fact that I just want to watch fun basketball. Like last year was just frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, to answer your question, I don't think we had a choice, right? So I think we were forced into accepting the fact that this is what they had to do. So if you asked me if I had a choice, I would rather them get players that were going to be healthy and put out a competitive team. Unfortunately, I think we're going to get a combination of both. We're going to have a bunch of players that will be competitive. And I think they did kind of get a lot of those players with Bona, Grimes, stuff like that, where they didn't have to break the bank. But it's all still going to hinge upon Embiid's availability. If he only plays in 20 games and he's not available in the postseason, that's it. It's a wrap. We're not winning a championship. But I think you can win a championship this year with a healthy Embiid and not a healthy Paul George. But
not the
it all
way around.
hinges on Embiid. It all hinges on Embiid, 100%.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say exactly those words. You guys had no choice. You could have traded Embiid at some point along the way, but you would have got 20 cents on the dollar. Yeah. And it just would have never been worth it to give up that kind of a promising talent for something that was never going to be as good as him, or some package of very minor things. You had to keep him the whole time.
Yep, for sure. And I think the only thing you would have got back for him would have been, equal salary that was expiring and that you could have dumped.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been any talent.
You were never going to get anything good.
Nope. And I mean, look, the East this year is wide open, so anything can happen if people can be healthy. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. And look, I don't really care who comes out of the East. It would be great if the Sixers did, as long as the Knicks don't come out of the East. I'll be happy with anybody else but the Knicks. I'd even be happy with those Charlotte Hornets if they could turn it around and somehow get in there. What do you think about your Hornets? What do you think about them this year? You hype or what?
I'm hype. If similar to you guys, we got one guy who can't stay on the court. He's our best player. Talking about LaMelo Ball. He's very fun and exciting to watch when he's out there, but he's not out there enough. So we need him to stay on the court. We know our rookie from last year. I still can't pronounce his name, Tidjane Salami or something like that, who we wasted like the number 5 pick on, and he hardly played last year. I'm hopeful that this kid will be something this year. And I really like Con Knipple.
It's your boy.
I was not a fan of the draft pick.
Dookie.
I was not a fan of him at Duke. But he crushed Summer League. He looked NBA ready. He looked really good. So I'm really hopeful for that kid. And I think our rookie from last year, Brandon Miller, is going to be a stud. That kid was very young, getting drafted out of Alabama as a freshman. But when he was on the court last year and not hurt, he had a good season, and I'm excited to see him develop. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were games last year and watching Duke play where Knipple was the better player on the court than Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, I would never say that.
In some of those games, he was the better player. I don't think for the entire season he was the better player, but I think in some of those games he was by far their star. So he has that ability to kind of take over a game and be that guy.
He has a high basketball IQ. Which almost everybody coming out of Duke does. They're well coached and smart kids usually. But I'm hopeful that, his basketball IQ can kind of get around to the rest of the team, because a lot of other guys on that team need it.
Yeah. I mean, what's the projection for LaMelo Ball?
As far as games played, who knows, man? His ankles are. I personally, and I've blamed it on this since the first ankle problem he ever had. He wore those daddy ball shoes.
I was going to ask about his dad.
And you want to have bad ankles? Go out there in some trash sneaker and try to play 82 games a year.
It's true.
Listen,
Well, I mean, his dad lost his foot because of him. It wasn't the diabetes; it was because of the shoe.
his dad beat Michael Jordan. He could beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1. That's what I was told.
Not no more.
Do you hear
God,
much
isn't it
from
good
him?
that guy gets no play anymore? At least
I was just going to say, as a Charlotte fan,
dropped off.
is he even around anymore?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I remember he was on Sports Center. He was on Stephen A. Smith's radio
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
He was doing everything that anybody would let him do, and they
Big
were all letting
baller
him do it.
brand.
And now he's just like, he got played out real quick.
He was
No.
great clickbait for everybody.
He
That's what I was going to say, but
He
he
was.
accomplished what he needed to accomplish. All three of his sons
All
are
three.
millionaires. Like two of his
Yep.
sons are multimillionaires. His other
Yep.
one's a somewhat, I guess, recording artist, rapper, whatever you want to
Good
call
rapper.
him. But is he good?
No.
I don't know.
I don't
I don't know. But I mean, it is what it is. But he's still selling records and making money. So I mean, I guess as a father, he did pretty well. He did the right thing. It only cost him a foot. So it is what it is.
It didn't work with the Sanders family.
Oof.
To be
Oof.
determined. To be determined.
So who plays
Well,
more
you know
games
why?
than
You know why? Because Dion only lost like 2 toes. He didn't lose a whole foot. If he would have lost the whole foot, it probably would have been
That's
different.
That's not where I was going with that.
That's horrible. Oh my god.
Just saying. What were you saying,
So
Jim?
who plays more
plays
games,
more?
Ball or Embiid?
Oh, that's a good over under.
That is
That is a good
actually,
over-under.
that might be a perfect prop bet.
Yeah. Wow.
what Vegas
let's ask
is-
Vegas. I was
Yeah,
going to
man.
say, let's ask Vegas and see what they say.
Vegas,
look that up.
Vegas is lining them pretty similar. That might be a -110 on either side.
You might not be able to get on FanDuel still. I was so mad last night. I tried to put in some bets. FanDuel was down with the AWS stuff. Well, you got to be kidding me.
Thank
You
Amazon
and
for that.
millions of other gamblers across the country, Greg.
I'm like, you saved me $10. However, I wanted to put a bet in. Anytime touchdown, I could have paid for CJ's college with that.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah,
Good luck. Or you could have cost yourself $10. Either
Yeah.
way.
true story.
Either way. Gotta love it. All right. So look, NBA, it should be a fun season. We'll see what happens. I mean, I think everything's kind of up in the air. I mean, I was watching the Rockets and the Thunder play, and they both seem like they're going to be solid teams in the West.
Mhm.
I'm anxious to see what KD does in Houston, see if he has anything left in the tank, see if he can stay healthy. He's been getting injured the last few years, so we'll see what happens there. And I just want to see how good the Thunder can actually be. I mean, they have so much draft capital still in the next couple of years too.
That's
Yep.
what's insane.
They're the defending NBA champions. They brought back 3 of their guys that are young. I mean, it just seems like they're primed to be like the next dynasty, you know. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but I'm anxious to see what happens.
Are
What do you
dynasties
think?
good for the NBA?
I don't think Adam Silver wants dynasties in the NBA at all. At all.
Right, but is it good for, like, you need the team that everybody roots against?
Yeah, but I think everybody wants to root for the Thunder. They're likable.
They're a likable
You know?
team.
They are
Yeah.
likable.
Yeah.
I think when the Warriors were the dynasty, you hated Draymond, and people still do. So like, all right, you like Curry, but you hate the rest of the team, so let's root against them. You know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't like Steve Kerr because he's smug and all that stuff. So like, I get it. I at least get that aspect. But like, the Thunder are a likable team. Like, there's not one person that I can look at him and go, he has a punchable face. I don't like him. I mean, Chet Holmgren is he kind of has a punchable face, but you know, it is what it is.
Speaking of punchable faces, what's LeBron and the Lakers going to do this year? Do you think they're a playoff contending team?
Well, apparently he's not playing in the
He's not
opening
playing.
game tonight.
You got a bad sciatica.
So
Yeah, it's
another
sciatica.
guy that we need an over/under on the number of games that they're going to get into this year already.
Yeah.
I think he might take it, to be honest,
Did
and
he- did
magically
they-
be healthy for the playoffs.
They beef up at all? Like, what did they do with their team in the offseason? I really don't know. That's what I'm
They got
curious.
DeAndre Ayton
Okay.
at center, which they
Yeah.
needed a center terribly. So that, in my opinion, that's a pretty big score for them with
Mhm.
having limited cap and limited options. So I don't know if they
Yeah.
did much beyond that.
I don't think they did much else. I mean, they signed a couple like role players here and there, but I mean, the big
Gotcha.
thing is it's going to be Luka.
Yeah.
Luka coming in healthy. If Luka can play back to how he did a few years ago, where he was MVP caliber, it's not going to matter really what LeBron does as long as LeBron's on the
point.
court, because Luka can take over a game. I think I saw a stat when it showed that LeBron wasn't playing tonight. Luka averaged like 30 a game without LeBron last year.
Wow.
And that was like fat Luka. You know what I
I
mean?
was
gonna
just going
say,
to
he's
say,
in
the
shape
pictures
now.
of him
Yeah.
from the off season, he is looking like he lost 40 pounds of fat and put it all back on with muscle. He
Yep.
looks like he's ripped up right now compared to last year.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to take over this year. So it'll be interesting, man. Like he looks like, and that would be good to see, because I like watching him play. I think he has some skill sets that like some of these guys in the NBA have never seen before, and they can't guard it. They can't guard it. He
Look,
does stuff that you can't see.
as an overweight individual myself, and I know some of you can feel me on that. I
feel
enjoy
like you're
Fat
looking at
Luka
me.
tearing the leg up.
I do too.
That's why I don't mind Jokic as much, because Jokic is doing like just playground moves out there, and
Yes,
he's
he
just
is.
fat,
Yeah.
out of shape.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
almost looks like he doesn't want to be out there, and he's like, all right, I'm just going to drop a triple double.
I don't think he does.
Yeah,
I think he wants to just be
Both
home with
looking
his
like
goats.
MVPs as they do it.
yeah. It's insane. It's insane. It's like the complete opposite of like seeing Shohei Ohtani in baseball, where he's like the epitome of somebody that's in shape and like state of the art athlete. He's like Drago going up against like some fat slob. Like that's basically what it is. You know what he did that in Game 4 with what do you have, 2 or 3 home runs and then 10 strikeouts pitching?
Right.
We'll never see that again. We'll never
No.
see that again. That may be the greatest sports performance in baseball that we'll ever see in our lifetime.
I was going to say,
Ever.
is he the GOAT? Are we watching it, witnessing it?
I don't know if he's a GOAT, but he's a generational talent for
Yeah.
sure. That like it's one of those. It's similar to like when we were growing up watching Bo Jackson. You just looked at it and like you couldn't look away. You couldn't look away because you knew something crazy
Must
was
see.
going to happen.
So I was going to say, like, very few times I think in sports history, like we were able to say we're watching the greatest. Like Michael Jordan comes to mind, right?
Mhm.
And then probably even Tom Brady towards his last couple of years, like we couldn't deny it anymore. We just had to give it to him.
I put Mike Tyson. We've seen Tyson.
Yeah, you know, and like I don't watch baseball that much, but everything I hear about this guy and the fact that like I'm paying attention to him says something too.
I think he's on that
I just wonder.
trajectory.
It's just his pitching ability is nasty, right?
Mhm.
So like he's not just a guy that can throw fast. Like Ichiro could throw 105 miles an hour from the outfield, but he couldn't pitch. So you got Ohtani on the mound, and he's throwing nastier stuff than like guys like Justin Verlander or Max Scherzer, like guys that are Hall of Fame pitchers, and they don't even have that kind of stuff. So to see what he's able to do with like those breaking balls and all that, and then he comes back with a 101 mile an hour fastball, and then it's like, oh wait, in between innings he's going to go up to bat and then hit a home run. It's like, wait,
Probably
you just
2 of
struck out
them.
the side, now you're going to hit a home run. Yeah, it's like that's unfair. Like that's not. It's just they created a rule for him. It's just crazy.
Yeah. What did he do in the series against the Phillies? Just want to point that out. Hitting wise, how did he do?
He had 1 hit, but he didn't need to have big hits.
I know.
The rest
it
of the
sucks.
team did.
Yeah.
The rest of the team did. I mean, that's the problem. That's the problem that the Phillies ran into. The Dodgers came up with more timely hits. You know?
Did you see that thing where they were saying that the Dodgers earned all their money back on his contract in the first year?
Yeah.
Oh,
And all the marketing.
$700 million in 1 year. They got all their money back from what he brought in.
I believe
all
that.
the marketing in Japan, the merchandise sales, all that stuff.
A lot of it has to do with the money they get out of Japan.
That's insane.
Mike knows about big contracts in big
I
cities.
was going to say, does Soto do that?
Hey, you guys can make fun of that contract all you want. I'm
He's
so
worth it,
happy
I
with it
think.
still.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, he was
I
one of the
agree.
top 3 or 5, without question, as bad of a year as he started with, one of the top 3 or 5 players in baseball this year at the end of the year when you look at those numbers. So, I mean, without that first 6-8 weeks, nobody would be joking about that contract. Nobody.
He's on the Mets.
I
and
probably
hate the
would be
Mets,
still.
and I'd still make fun of him.
Oh, and
Nobody
listen, I'm gonna joke about it until he wins a World Series. So
'Cause that's what you tried to buy.
Hey, that's coming. That's coming. We're going to buy
There he
one.
is.
We are going to be the East Coast Dodgers. It's a matter of time. We are going to buy us a World Series.
Hold on. So
Hold
not
on.
the Dodgers may buy championships, but they buy talent to go with those championships. So Ohtani, that they paid a ton of money to, trading for Mookie Betts. I mean, these guys just aren't
And
like
that
throwing
was
money
over the
at
course
people.
of a number of years, right?
Sure.
It
Fair.
didn't all happen at once. So we're going to do it over the course of a number of years. We are going to buy a World Series. I promise you. Nobody's
see.
got as much money as my owner. Nobody wants to spend as much money as my owner, other than the Dodgers.
But
We are in a class by ourselves with LA.
Yeah, Mike, I gotta say that's pretty awesome to have that as like, to know that like your owner is going to do whatever they got to do to get people, like it's really awesome.
Like I said it at the beginning of the year last year that Soto was going to be a Met. Nobody believed me. Nobody. I said it
Until
all
they
year on
changed
the
the
baseball
rules.
pod. You guys are crazy if you think that Steve Cohen isn't going to pay more than every other single owner in baseball for this guy because he's that good. And when the next guy comes along that's going to be that good, we're going to get him too. And it'll happen 3 or 4 times in a row, and then we're going to win a World Series.
So let
But
me
you
ask
still
this.
have the Mets name. You
There you
still are the second class team in New York,
In your own city.
and the Mets are going to Met. So you got to change the team name, I think, in
That
order
gap
to
is
change
closing.
the vibes.
That gap where the Yankees are the big brother is closing fast. They are spending less and less every year as we're spending more. And
That is true.
the Steinbrenner kids are not their dad. They are not, hey, we want to win
But they
World Series.
have
They
how
are,
many
we
World
want to make
Series?
money too.
20 some,
27.
right?
27.
They'll always
Yeah.
you'll always be the little brother in New York.
You could win
No.
15 straight World Series and still be the little brother.
The first time that the Yankees are a sub 500 team ever, that's ends. Nobody cares, especially in New York. You think those Yankees fans are going to care about 27 championships?
Yes, I
if
hear
they're
all
losing
about
games?
it all the time.
Yeah, because they're still winning, so they can say that.
Right.
But if they stop winning, they will not be able to fall back on that anymore. They can. I mean, you can always throw that card out there, but it don't mean a damn thing when you're a loser.
But
So
when's
let
the
me
statute
ask
of
this.
limitations come up on those 27 championships? Like, how many of them were from like
I don't know,
1920?
Steve,
Nah,
let's
that's what I was
ask you.
I
was
let's
just
ask you
gonna
as
say,
a
I know
Cowboys
it's
fan.
coming.
I mean,
I
you're
know
at
it's coming.
30 for the Cowboys, so it's around the same time, I would think, right? You got 16 years since the Yankees last championship, so I guess they got at least like another 10 years before we start calling them VHS tapes.
DVDs.
I do want to throw this out there and get you guys' take on this. So a lot has been said about the Dodgers and the fact that they had about, I don't know, two full starting rotations, one that was on the injured list for half the year, and now all of a sudden they're miraculously ready to play in the postseason. Do you think that there's any truth to the fact that they weren't severely injured and that they looked at this going, we're playing the long game here and we want to keep ourselves healthy? And do you think this is going to be a copycat where other teams are going to try to do this and hoard their players or like rest them, injured list? Not so much like what the Phillies did with Nola, because I think Nola was hurt, but do something similar where they have a couple of these starters that, we're not going to, they're going to come off the injured list after the All-Star break, and then we really ramp them up in August and September.
I'm going to say yes and yes, but you got to be careful with that, because if you don't make the playoffs, you ruined your whole season. So it's got to take a special team with special talent to be able to do that and compete all year and yet still have the ability to pull. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do I think the Dodgers did it maliciously? Maybe not maliciously, but I think they had an end game and were playing for September and October. Absolutely. I really do. Do I think other teams are going to start doing that? I think it's going to be viewed as, if we think we are strong enough to make the playoffs, yeah, let's why not try it? You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah,
'cause
that's
I
true.
think
That
the
is
Phillies,
so gutsy.
it is.
It takes a lot to do that, though. You're right.
But I think the Phillies tried to do that with Andrew Painter, it just blew up in their face because it took him like he was supposed to be ready by May, and like he was pitching all that time in AAA. He just
He got
sucked.
hurt
They
again.
di- they
He
couldn't
got
bring
banged up
him up.
again. That was the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess you run that risk too.
Yeah, I mean, look, the MO in baseball has always been you got to get hot at the right time, and usually the team that's hot down the stretch is the team that goes far, right? So, like, that mentality has always been there. I just question now, do I think teams are going to try to do what the Dodgers did? Yes. But are they going to be successful? No, because they're not as talented as the Dodgers. The Dodgers
Yep,
caught
you're right.
lightning in a bottle with 10
Yep.
pitchers that could have been twos and threes on any staff in the majors. They just happen to have 10 of them. They didn't have a fifth starter. They had a second and third starter is basically what they had. Like, that was how good their pitching staff was. So that's why you got these guys coming in now from the bullpen, and they're fresh arms basically. So it's just interesting to see what's going to happen. But I think other teams are going to try to do that if they can pull it off, for sure.
Your team
But those
has to
guys
be
had the
deep.
right mindset.
You're never going to see a pitching staff that deep again.
Yeah.
A combination of the money and luck and injuries. There's a lot of reasons why they had 10 guys, kind of in their stable able to use. I don't think that ever gets replicated. Not with that many talented arms.
You have to be a World Series winning caliber team to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's what's
Better.
gonna
You
happen.
have to be. I think you got to even be better than that. Like you got to be. You got to be what
probably.
the Dodgers were. You got to be a lock to be looking at the World Series at the end of the year to be able to do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yep.
And rest guys.
Well, and that's why I thought about it, right? Because you brought up like the Mets are going to be like the Dodgers. Like the Dodgers lineup from top to bottom, there's barely any holes, right? Like you may call a hole here and there, but like when they're bringing Will Smith back into it against the Phillies, right? And like they're bringing him back into the lineup to like get him reps, basically, is what they're saying. I'm like, this guy was an all-star. Like, he's an all-star caliber catcher, and you're bringing him back in to get reps. Like, that tells you how deep that team is, And like, it's just, you gotta, I don't know. I just feel like it's the right situation and the right type of mentality, as you pointed out, Jim. Like, you gotta have players that buy into that type of thing and that they're playing for the long game. And like, I don't know if the Dodgers are going to be done after this year. I'd love to, I hate the fact that it's the Blue Jays and the Dodgers because I don't care who wins. I hate them both. But I that's why I was rooting for the Mariners. I wanted to see something new and actually have a rooting interest, but I could care less about the World Series now. But like, if the Dodgers win, they could potentially go for a three-peat next year. They're not losing many players, and they're getting everybody back. No.
Yep.
And they got the money if they did lose anybody.
They'll
throw
be a
money.
better regular season team next year because they're going to have their pitching healthy.
Yeah. Well, and you have Ohtani pitching from the beginning of the season.
Yep.
If you want him to.
Snell,
if you want him
Ohtani,
if they want him to.
Yeah. They got options.
I think that was like the biggest trade deadline move ever, was the fact that, the Dodgers can now pitch Ohtani. It's like, wait a minute. We tried to get Duran, we tried to get starting pitching. You just allowed Ohtani to start pitching, and now he's like Cy Young. It's insane.
Hey, how's your arm feeling?
Well, and that here's one of the other questions I'm going to pose you, and then we'll switch topics from baseball. Can Ohtani be the first player in Major League history to win a Cy Young and an MVP, being a DH and a pitcher? I don't think we'll ever see that ever again.
No.
But I think that may happen next year. I think it has a very good possibility. He'll be a four consecutive MVPs that he would win, and then he'll also win a Cy Young.
I think he's
if he
proving
pitches
that
like
there's
he did in the playoffs,
more impossible to happen.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong about this, but are his pitching stats Cy Young worthy? I know
if he pitches
really
the whole
good,
season.
but is he like best pitcher in baseball really good?
If he pitches a whole season, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He'll be pretty darn close.
I think the argument is he keeps surprising everybody with his abilities, and I don't think it's far-fetched to think it's not possible.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's scary.
It is. It is. It's fun though. It's fun to see. It's real fun.
Hey, maybe he'll revive baseball.
Now, steroids already did that.
I miss those steroid days.
Shout out to Barry Bonds.
His head
And,
grew 3 sizes that year.
He was still the best pure hitter I've ever seen in my life.
I agree.
Dude could hit
careers.
He could hit a raisin from a pitcher. That's how good he was, man. With that one year, he just saw everything and could hit it. It was insane. So, look, one last topic before we get out of here. What do you guys think about these coaches' buyouts? Wouldn't you like to suck at your job and get paid millions of dollars to never have to do it again? It's just insane. I mean, the Titans coach was in over his head. He probably shouldn't have been a head coach anyway. He should have just stayed to be a coordinator. But James Franklin, he was at Vanderbilt, if I'm not mistaken, right? Before he went to Penn State.
Yes, correct.
I mean, you go to Penn State and you're getting paid, and your buyout to leave this year is $48 million. And they just go, you lose to Northwestern, you're gone. Get out of here. We'll gladly pay the $48 million. What?
Hey,
that's insane.
Bill Belichick's currently stealing $50 million from my favorite school.
He's about to leave too.
Is he really stealing it?
Pretty much.
Hey, he ain't doing nothing to earn it.
That is pretty bad. That is pretty bad.
I don't think he'll be back next year. I think the writing is on the wall with that one.
No chance.
That turned into a circus quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his buyout's not even that
on
bad.
day one. No, they owe him $30 million if he only stayed there one day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He had 5 years, I think, at 10 or 11 million a year, but the first 3 years at 10 million were guaranteed.
Gotcha. Okay.
For I think for every reason. Like there is no it's locked in. There's nothing he can
but
do.
At least he had a resume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did have a resume.
Correct.
Very good
well,
one.
Look, he had a resume from the pros, but he was going into college being a 70-year-old guy. I mean,
and not knowing anything about how it worked. They've gotten in so much trouble over recruiting violations, and not big things, but like little things, and they're all adding up, and it's just a program in disarray because they didn't know what they were doing in college.
Well, who's the guy that got as the GM?
Mike.
Florio, isn't it?
No, he was the dude that was he was in NFL.
The heck is his name?
Lombardi.
Yeah.
Mike Lombardi.
Yeah,
Mike
Lombardi.
Thank you.
Mike Lombardi.
Some
he was
clown
on
named Mike Lombardi.
Okay,
what
Kelsey.
was that from? I remember
Kelsey.
that quote, but I don't remember what it's from.
Kelsey's Super Bowl.
Oh,
the
that's
Mummer
right.
speech.
Okay, good call. Very good call.
Of course it was.
Yeah, I can speak as a 47-year-old man with a 13-year-old son. I don't really speak his language. I really don't, and I don't know how
Greg,
Belichick. I don't know how Belichick is doing this. I'm just like, with the 25-year-old girlfriend, good for him. But like, how he can relate to these guys and these players is beyond me. It's his name. It's the brand, the Belichick brand.
Come on.
It's the I'm going to get you to the NFL. There's nothing else to that other than
you
that.
do IT work. I mean, Chat GPT. Chat GPT will decipher anything for you.
This is true, but like, I don't know how he's relating or can relate to them.
Clearly, he's not. He's not. Yeah.
How often does an NFL coach go to the college side? It's rare, right?
I feel like it's happened the other way around more often.
Yeah,
than
more
not.
often.
I feel
Yeah.
like there's more college coaches that have gone to NFL than there are vice versa.
You get a lot
But wasn't
that go
that
from college to NFL and then back to college, but not
Right.
usually a lot from the pros to college.
But wasn't that the selling point? He was going to revolutionize the way because of NIL and all that.
He was going to make it like an NFL program. Is what he was trying to do.
An NFL factory, I think, is what he said.
It
or
sounded
something.
really good at the beginning, man. I was so
It did.
excited.
You were sold.
Especially at North Carolina, like at North Carolina, where you got like
Oh,
all
I
the
thought he was
backing and
gonna-
Nike and everything. Yeah, like sky's the limit. You know what I mean? The
They've
only
got
thing
the
that probably
money,
would have been
they've got the facilities. There's no
Right.
reason why Carolina can't be good at football, but they've never been able to do it other than like 1 or 2 years all time.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem at Penn State. Like, I think these programs are building up their NIL deal and just they have people that want to donate money to them, and they just are giving unqualified people the money to do something that is not going to happen. I mean, he was a decent coach at Vandy. However, with that said, like, look at his record at Penn State, and the fact that they re-upped his contract and gave him like more money when he was like what 1 for 15 against Ohio State, Michigan, like in his tenure. Like,
He was
it's
1 for 15 against top 5 opponents. Like he couldn't
top
beat
five. Like,
anybody that
it's
was in the
right.
top 5.
it's just not going to happen. Like, and that's why when he got that extension, I was like, what? And then like what the stipulation behind that extension was like, man, okay, good for you, buddy. And you see how it turned out. That's like and when you take a step back and think about who they're going to bring in and replace him, what are the expectations for that person? Because I don't know if they're ever going to be reached. Now, Penn State is always going to recruit decently. They're always going to get those kids, but like, I don't see them. I don't understand how this team was viewed as a national championship team. I just don't see it. And I think Penn State's going to be set up for, I hate to say it, failure for the next couple of years. Like, I just don't see it changing overnight.
Depends on who
I
they
guess
get.
is-
Depends on who they get. If they get somebody that's near and dear to Jim's heart, Matt Rule, I think that program's back in the top 10 next year, and it won't miss a beat.
You
Because
think?
Matt Rule,
I don't know
yeah,
about next year. I
absolutely.
think they need to
What has
give
Matt
him.
Rule? What has he done against top 5, top 10 opponents though? Like ranked opponents. Like, his record's not great against top 5, top 10 talent either. That's my point. Like, I think that he did a decent job at Baylor, not a bad job. But like at
He
Nebraska,
did a
what
phenomenal
is?
job because they were like
Yeah.
close to being on the death penalty when he took over.
But what
Yep.
has he done at Nebraska? Like, nothing great, right?
Well, he's turned them around in the
He
year.
This
has
is
turned
year
them
2 for
around a
him.
little bit.
Yeah.
I got to give them that.
Yeah.
They were trash for a long
Yeah.
time, and at
Yeah.
least now they're relevant again a little bit.
Right.
And
You
I
know,
mean,
they're not
look,
a top 10 team by any means,
correct.
but they're relevant.
Yep, and Matt Rule's a Penn State guy. He's an alumni,
Yeah,
right?
true.
So that excitement alone will probably trigger something. The NIL deal, I mean, he can recruit his ass off. He's already proven that. So he'll get
Yeah.
recruits up there. And if you get those boosters in Penn State happy again and get them excited about something, that money will just be flowing everywhere. Plus,
It'll flow
they-
because he's not James Franklin.
correct. Well,
True.
that's what I was
Thank
getting
you.
ready to say. It gives them something to be excited about. They're spending $100 million to renovate Beaver Stadium over the next
Yeah.
10 years. So the sky's the limit there if they get the right coach with the right system. It's just that. And look, when we're talking about college football, you always talk about quarterbacks of your team, right? Who's the
Mhm.
best quarterback in Penn State history? Kerry Collins.
Kerry Collins. Yeah.
That's it. Trace
Yeah.
McSorley. Like that's who you're talking about. Like you're talking about
Todd
that. They don't
Blackledge.
they don't
Blackledge,
have
I like that.
quarterbacks. So like they have great defenses. They've had great offensive linemen. They've had great running backs. They haven't had a quarterback, and occasionally they'll throw in the wide receiver every now and then, and a tight end, obviously. Like they get them, but no quarterbacks ever.
It's true.
Even when they had Kerry Collins, they didn't have a sporting cast to go with him, so like there was nothing
No.
there. So like if Matt Rule, whoever the next coach is, if he can bring a quarterback in there to create some excitement, look out, man.
Drew Aller
Listen.
was the next NFL star, from what I heard.
Drew Hour's trash.
He is
Trash.
Listen,
Seems
Matt
like
Rule
trash.
got PJ Walker into the NFL,
Okay, PJ Walker,
There you go.
shot out.
and he was
There you go.
solid there for a couple games.
And where was he at? Where was he at when he did that?
Did he go? PJ Walker went to Temple, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he.
That's
I'm
what I
giving you
mean.
a shout out. You got a hat on.
Oh, I thought you
Come
meant
on,
in the
Jim,
NFL. That's what I mean. Yeah, no, he got
Alley-oop.
Robbie Anderson
Alley-oop.
into the NFL.
I threw it up to you like D Wade threw to LeBron, and you just missed the dunk.
Dropped it.
I thought you meant in the NFL. I'm like, he played a couple different places in the NFL.
He got drafted by the Panthers, didn't he? Isn't that where he went?
Yes.
Yeah, think
Robbie
so.
Anderson.
Good times. Good times. Well, look, with that note, and since Jim dropped the alley oop, I think that's enough for tonight. We'll call it a wrap. We'll call it a wrap since you're not helping my stat line at all. That was a clear assist.
Give me another
now
shot.
It's a turnover.
Give me another
Jesus.
shot.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Well, listen, thanks for
Less
another
handsome
fun
and
week.
less talented, brother.
Wow.
No hands. No hands Montgomery over here. Jesus. Well, listen, appreciate you fellas hopping on tonight. And as
Yes,
always,
sir.
stay classy. Appreciate you.
Hasta la pasta.
Peace.
Boom, boom, boom.